Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with a quick screenwriter's rant on the hereafter. Christina Ricci in a movie where I don't think she's in it a lot. She's not the main character. And the premise is a guy dies and it's about the afterlife. And it's an interesting concept, I'll say. It's not my kind of movie, but it's an interesting concept. So the concept of the movie is you can't go to heaven unless you have a soulmate. You have to travel in pairs. So he has to go back to Earth and find another dead woman to be his soulmate. And apparently they're walking around, so he just goes back to New York and starts trying to connect with people. And he connects with this woman, but it turns out she's not dead. And they put this all in the trailer, which was a little much to give away, I felt, but not a bad premise. So she's still alive, but he's in love with her. And so for some reason she can see him. She's a psychic or whatever. And so they fall in love. And then Christina Ricci explains the rules of this world where the only reason he can see her is because she's going to die soon. And Christina Ricci is like the Grim Reaper, and she like kills this meter maid. So they fall in love, and then it's about him not wanting her to die, even though it'll mean he could maybe not exist anymore. So he's trying to save her, even though it means he's not, may not exist. So that's an interesting premise for a movie. It's not bad. I think it's a little much for a movie. I think it would be better for episodic television. It'd be more for a short story. I don't know if you could extend it 90 minutes, but it is a romance, so maybe it could. Like the first act, he dies and he finds out all the rules and he goes down there. There's a comedic relief, like one of his uncles, who I guess is also dead. And he's looking for a girl and he meets her. Then the second act is she's alive. And so then she's alive. What is he going to do? How does he, Then he finds out, oh, she's close to death. That's the only reason you could see her. And they try to make it work. She introduces him to her friend who can't see or hear him. And then there's, I assume at some point at the end of the second act, she's in danger in some way, and he ends up saving her. So he ends up saving her, and then either she dies anyway, and they both go to heaven, or he gets to be alive again. That's the only way I think this movie could end. So here she is introducing to her friend. I think this is probably, probably about a half hour too long, if I had to guess. But it's not a bad premise, and it's not. The characters were mildly engaging. I didn't mind it. It's not my kind of movie though. So I think for a sort of a hallmarky romantic movie, this would be top notch. In terms of the premise and the thing. I've seen a lot of these and they're just terrible. They're all the same. This has a nice little bit of a twist, So maybe you could delve into his life a little bit and how he screwed up, how he's always too busy to meet someone kind of thing. And, and you could delve into her life a little bit. It could work. So it's not a bad, and then you got Christina Ricci's in it. So that's cool. Let's see. Let's check out the credits here. Written and directed by Harry Greenberger. And again, you got a guy doing both. Let's see. Is he in it too? He's not one of the actors, is he? No. Solid entry here. I mean, you got Christina Ricci. That's your box office draw. She's probably not, all over the movie, right? They probably shot all her scenes at once to get her out of the way. And to keep it like as cheap as possible. They probably shot all her scenes in like 2 weeks. And then everybody else is the main thing. And they keep cutting back to Christina Ricci. See, that's how you maximize your star power, right? You got a star, You use her, but you spread her out throughout the movie, right? She's only in scenes for a few minutes, but you shoot all those scenes in relatively the same locations. You get them all done in like 2 weeks, and then she's out the door, and that's how you can afford a big name celebrity like Christina Ricci. And she's a pretty big name. I mean, people will know her. She's been in movies. She's a bit of a draw, and she looks good in this. She looks good in the role. Andy Carl, Nora Arzinder, and Gina Berlin. I don't know any of those actors, but they seem fine with Michael Rispoli, and Christina Ricci. Okay, so she's not in it that much, and Michael Rispoli, that name sounds familiar, so he's probably mildly famous. I'll probably recognize him when I see him. Solid entry. I'd say it's solid, but I say it, you know, after seeing this trailer, I might. It's a very tiny chance, but I have to be honest, I might see it. I probably wouldn't, but I might. Like, if it showed up on Netflix and I remembered this trailer, I'd be like, maybe I'll give it a chance, and if it was good, I'd watch the rest of it. I'll tell you, it's a good trailer. Solid entry. I'm going to give it an upvote. There you go. That's it for me and Little Joan tonight. Make sure you check out. You done, Little Joan? You're so fuzzy. We got 2 other videos. Don't forget, on Bitchute and Rumble. Please don't forget. Hollywood Hot Take and a News Blast. You're going to love them. They're longer than these videos, so we get to do more. And we'll see you tomorrow.